We're bringing this lawsuit against Yale and its 9 fraternities to challenge the inequality and sexual harassment that are unfortunately rampant on this campus. Yale's taken a hands-off approach to fraternities for far too long, and it's been aware of this problem for over a decade. Yale failed its students, and now we're taking action.
My freshman year, my first semester, I went to a couple fraternity parties where I was groped from behind, one of which actually ended in the man who was behind me lifting up my skirt and putting his hand in my crotch.
It's such a normalized part of certain spaces that you don't even know if it's your place to speak out against it, because people actually discourage you from doing so. And if you point out to a group of friends, this happened to me at a party, I was groped without my consent, isn't that assault? Isn't that wrong? There are even students who said to me, oh, you consented to that by going to the frat. So there's this idea that when you walk in the door of a frat, you kind of surrender your right to physical safety.
Fraternities hold all of the power on this campus, whether it's them controlling the parties or having access to vast social networks. It's our belief that by integrating, we can solve both of those problems. The first, by making fraternity brothers see women and non-binary people as peers instead of sex objects at their party, and the second, by allowing people to tap into these social networks.
Yale has this kind of hands-off approach. These fraternities are unrecognized, they're not formally recognized. They say things like that, but that's really to distance themselves from the liability of sexual misconduct, and then also gender discrimination, which we had all experienced.
So I don't think any of us would say that a lawsuit was our first course of action or our desired empath, but after 2 years of having these conversations with administrators and with our fellow students, we realized that we really didn't, there was no one who was going to be activated on this issue.
So overall, what we're looking for is a culture shift. We think gender integration is a huge part of this because, as it stands, the reason that fraternities are so dangerous is because you have a bunch of men who control the entire space and all of the alcohol and all of the resources, and just reinforcing each other because they don't have to view women as people or peers. But beyond that, there are a few other things that we're looking for that we think would make parties safer. So, for example, we're looking to have mixed gender sober monitors. We're looking to have them hire bouncers to prevent discriminatory admissions. There's a whole list of things that we think would make the culture a lot safer, starting with integration, but definitely not ending there.
When students come to you and say, I've experienced gender discrimination because I was rejected from a fraternity, one of the dean's first responses was, oh, I thought something really bad happened, because she thought, we had been assaulted, which we were, but the fact that this sort of normalized disrespect and inequity isn't viewed as something that is dangerous to the morals that Yale stands for shows that administrators aren't conceiving of this campus or aren't advocating and fighting for this campus to be the equitable place it says it is.
I think Yale's shown its students, in failing them on this issue, that it cares more about visibility and donations than it cares about the safety of its students, especially its most vulnerable students. When we all came to Yale, we had no idea that fraternities would be so influential and would be so dangerous. And Yale is knowingly putting all those students at risk. So a big part of this lawsuit for us is pointing out that Yale has a responsibility to its students, and that every day it neglects to take action on this. It's saying that it cares more about its connections with alumni than about the students who are here right now, who are experiencing discrimination and sexual harassment on a regular basis.
At the end of the day, we can't wish the problem away. We have to take action, and Yale has to do it too. They failed us, they need to stop.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.